Yeah, the cancer myths, and don't believe a lie, part two. Yeah, sorry about that. My phone got overheated because I'm in the car and just shut down. It did that last week too. I guess I was on fire for the Lord. So I just wanted to come back on here and finish up just for a few minutes. Thank you so much for those of you that watched the first video. I encourage you to go back and watch part one of the video. Once it, I think it still has to generate, through YouTube. But yeah, I was finishing up because what started this was someone that I follow in the health coaching space, had shared about their friend who recently passed away from a cancer diagnosis, had 7 physicians, and not one of them suggested or informed the individual if, when asked, the person that was going through cancer diagnosis asked if they should change their lifestyle, their diet, or whatever. And every single physician said no, which is absolutely incredibly egregious because you absolutely do have to change your lifestyle. And so, like I said, I encourage you to go back and watch part one because I actually talked about some of my own journey and what I had to do in terms of research. But the keys that I was leaving with you guys was lifestyle has to change. You 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 have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, and your environment, particularly foods that you eat, where you frequent, if you eat out. I encourage people to prepare their own meals more. I know we live in a microwave society, but when it concerns your health and the longevity, to be able to sustain longevity in this lifetime, you're going to have to adopt some of these practices, whether it's meal prep. I do meal prep today. I do every Saturday meal prep. You don't have to cook every day. You pick one day out of the week and commit to it. I'm telling you, not only is it more, it saves you money, but it actually will, you'll actually be able to taste the food because what you're getting when you go out is not real food. I'm not going to say every place, but the majority is not real food. And so I was leaving you with those tips, in terms of being mindful of what you're putting in your body. You have to know your body better than anyone else. If you don't know your body better than anyone else, that's the first problem. You can come in and tell me where you're joining from. Um, but that's the first thing. The other thing is the mindset. I talked about the mindset and how you definitely have to be careful that you're not carrying unforgiveness, bitterness, envy, strife, pride. These things work so detrimentally to the body because what's going on in the mind is going to be reflected and manifested through your body. And so you're carrying these things, and it's just like carrying a trauma, which I don't know a person living that has not gone through some form of trauma in their life. And so we have to deal with those things, but we have to want to be healed so that we can get to the other side. Those actually play a huge part in, you know, a cancer diagnosis as well. People don't realize that, excuse me, you don't realize that, if you have emotional things that you have never dealt with, have never chosen to be healed from, it's going to affect your body. The scripture even tells us that. And so be mindful of that. Especially as a believer, you have to be willing, you have to choose to want to be healed. I had to do it years ago. Went through therapy and everything. I had to make a choice that I was not going to keep going around the same cycle over and over and over again. But you have to choose to want to be healed. And so the mindset plays a key. The other thing is your environment. We have to learn how to put boundaries. Don't let other people talk you into doing what they're doing because the truth is misery does love company. No one wants to go through things that are they know that are not great for them. They want someone else to join them. Don't fall into that trap. Make sure you have boundaries around yourself for people in your life. If they are draining, if they are extra drama, whatever the case may be, you have the ability and it's your right to have boundaries. I encourage everyone to have boundaries because your environment is important. Now, that's your social environment. There's also our natural environment. We are inundated by toxins in our world, toxins on our bodies. We sleep with toxins. The things that we sleep in, the beds, the linens, and things like that, all of these things have chemicals within them That's why you have to do your due diligence in order to make sure that you are searching out the things that are, excuse me, much more safer, much more non-toxic. And I mean everything: clothes, shoes, caps, everything that you're wearing, everything that you're, exposing your skin to, because that's your biggest organ. And it is baby steps. I will say it's baby steps, but commit to doing something, because the rate of cancer diagnosis that's happening in the world today, it is 1,000% preventable, especially when I see children going through cancer diagnosis. There are so many natural ways. Start juicing. Start doing at least a detox. Do a 3-day water fast. I guarantee you, you will survive. You can drink teas and things like that with your water fast. Do a juice fast, or do a just an all fruit fast. You would be shocked at the amount of uh, you know, uh, detoxification that happens, particularly in the liver. Because if your liver is inundated, if your liver is compromised in any way, it is not going to be able to detox your body. That's the first step. The other thing is inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the number one way that people are experiencing, you know, um, cancer diagnosis. That's just one area. There's multiple reasons. So I just wanted to come back and leave that with you guys. I don't want my phone to to overheat again, because it's hot where I am. But I wanted to finish that up and check the description, because I leave some very good tips for you guys to follow, and make a commitment. If you know someone, if you are someone who has gone through a cancer diagnosis, you know someone that's going through a cancer diagnosis. I particularly, this October will be 14 years, and I have changed my entire life. Do I have hiccups along the way in terms of my body? I have to stay on top of it, because I refuse to allow anything that's not of God to infiltrate this body. This body belongs to Jesus. And so, and remember our scripture today. It says in Psalm 118 and 17, I shall not die but live and declare the works of the Lord. And that is the exact scripture, one of the scriptures that I stood on when I was going through my own treatment, not knowing that there were natural ways. I mean, my goodness, there's so many now, more than ever. Make sure you're loaded up on your vitamin D3, iodine deficiency. All of these things play a part in contributing to our overall optimum health. But everyone is different. Everyone is different. I eat pretty much plant-based. Some people can't do that because of their makeup, because their blood type. They need the animal protein. I just encourage you to eat as organic as much as possible. Follow the Dirty Dozen list. Um, and make sure that your environment is clean. Open the window. I know we are surrounded by, if it's summertime heat, I mean the cool air conditioning, we need to be exposed to germs and things like that. I know there's just a lot of talk about this, this parasite, that's been talked about around, the country, especially here in the U.S. Let me tell you something, parasites are not new. And that particular parasite is not new. It happens this time every single year because it's the heightened time. But if you're continually detoxing your body, you don't have to worry about parasites over, being inundated by parasites. All of us have parasites because of the toxicity in our environment. But there's things that you can do. I mean, use your precautions. Make sure you are cleaning your vegetables. You don't, because I think one of the things that it's causing people to do is to not eat fruits and vegetables at all, and that is a huge mistake. We cannot stop eating fruits and vegetables. We just have to do our due diligence to make sure that they're clean. That's all. I clean my veggies, soap, water, baking soda, vinegar if needed. Make sure you're cleaning your veggies. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you. If you made it this far and you are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you like the broadcast. Make sure you hit the like button, share the broadcast with someone that you know, and subscribe if you want to join this community, because every week I come on here because I want to see you thrive. I don't want anyone to go through the same thing that I went through, and everything that I've learned along the way as your holistic certified health coach, I'm going to share it with you right here on this channel. All right, guys, take care until next time. Peace.